Hi there, my name is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney, and today I'd like to talk to you about what happens if you should miss the 60-day appeal deadline in your disability case. And as you may know, when you apply for benefits, if you are denied, you receive a denial notice, you have 60 days from the date you received that denial notice to file an appeal. And the first appeal is called a request for reconsideration. If they turn you down at recon, you have 60 days from your receipt of that denial to file a request for a hearing. So it's not a lot of time. 60 days or 2 months is not a lot of time. Now you notice the way I phrase that is you have 60 days from the date of your receipt of a particular denial notice. So if you received your denial notice on the 5th, in theory you have 60 days from that day to file your appeal. What happens, though, is sometimes the date on the denial notice may be, let's just pick a date, March 14th, but it doesn't get mailed out until March 23rd. And so when you get it, maybe it's March 28th. Well, arguably, you have 60 days from March 28th to file your appeal. But I would tell you that the safer option would be to file your appeal within 60 days from the date on the denial notice, and not from the date you receive it. And I would also tell you to save the letters that these notices come in, and of course the denial notice itself, because I've had a couple of cases over the years where someone gets a denial notice, it was mailed out 30 or 40 days after the date on the denial notice itself. My client filed the appeal within 60 days of receipt, but Social Security took the position that we're going to give you 5 days from the date on the notice, and that's how much you get. So I would use the date on the actual notice as the date to start the 60 days from counting. Now, what happens if you miss that? Well, obviously, one option would be you simply start over again. You file a new application for benefits, and you can allege the same thing, same onset date, same everything, and just start over again. And in fact, we can ask the court or the judge to reopen your prior application if you file application number 2 within 1 year, 365 days of the denial notice of application 1. So as long as you file your new application pretty quickly after you received the denial notice on the first one, you should be okay. However, that is, even though it's usually granted, it's somewhat discretionary. In theory, a judge does not have to grant it. So if you have a problem like a date last insured running, meaning your insurance coverage for SSDI has run out in the meantime after you filed your first application, you're taking somewhat of a chance to file a new application and hope that it's reopened. Probably would be, but you need to show some reason why you didn't do it on time, or what the problem was, and to ask for it to be reopened. If there's new evidence that you didn't understand, your medical condition left you unable to understand the need to file an appeal and so forth. But if you file a new application, assuming there's no date last insured issue, that's usually a pretty safe bet. Now, the other option would be to ask Social Security for good cause to accept your late filed appeal. And my experience has been that if you ask for good cause and it's only 2 or 3 days late, they're more likely they're not going to strongly consider giving that to you because no harm has been done. If it's been 3 or 4 months and you realize, oh, I didn't file an appeal, that's probably less likely they're going to do that. So good cause is totally discretionary. There's no appeal on that. And this is again a situation where if the date on the notice was again March 5th, let's say, but you didn't get it until March 28th, there's no appeal on that. It's just you're just kind of out of luck. So that's why you want to use the date on the letter. If you do ask for good cause, and I've done it a number of times and had it granted, you want to say the reason why. And a good reason would be my medical condition left me unable to fill out this form. I have mental health conditions where I was in bed and depressed. I couldn't do anything. Or I was in the hospital. I couldn't do it. Simply saying I didn't know I had to do this in 60 days is not a good enough reason. You want to have some reason why your appeal was filed late, why there should be good cause. So the two options would be, again, to file a new application, but again, look at your date last insured. You want to make sure there's no problem there, or to ask for a good cause to file a late appeal and get that initial application, that first application, to have it continue. Now, there's some debate about whether you can do both at the same time. My experience has been, again, this is just me, that if you file a new application, they're not going to really consider a good cause. And so it can take anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks to get a decision on the good cause. That's a little bit problematic. But again, it's just something that you have to look at the totality of the circumstances to make a decision. But those are the options if you're late with your 60-day appeal. Obviously, the best course of action is not to be late and use the date on the denial notice itself as the date as starting that 60-day appeals, and get the appeal in sooner rather than later. There's just no reason to wait to file your appeal. So, hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube channel and our Facebook page. And if you've not already done so, go to my SSDAnswers.com website. You can download my free Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit. It comes by email. And you can also, when you're at SSD Answers, ask for a case evaluation. I will only do that if you're not currently represented. But again, if you are not and you'd like me to take a look, I'd be more than happy to do so. Again, Jonathan Ginsberg here, wishing you the best. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the Survival Kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.